Hey, what's up? Today I'm going to be fixing some curb rash on my wheel. So I want to show you real quick. Right here you'll see a little bit of silver, a lot of silver. So we're going to go over a way to go through and paint those up and make it so that that doesn't look quite so ugly from a distance. So just like me, I look much less ugly from a distance. Alright, so before we get started, this is what it looks like. I've already actually sanded it a little bit so it's a little bit smoothed off, but you see the rough edges deep in there, and you got a couple little scrapes that kind of go all the way around. So what we're going to be using is this wheel touch-up paint. It's actually matched for the car, so it's zinc wheels stuff. I don't know. Anyway, it's for the actual wheels itself that are on the car. And then this is our supplies that are standing by. So we got some isopropyl alcohol. I got some brake cleaner just to make sure you get all the surface stuff off. We have sandpaper, so 220 grit. This is 120, and then this is 80, and this is 180. So a few different kind of levels. And then we got some blue painter's tape just to put on so we don't get it all over the tires. So we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so first thing we're going to do is try to get rid of some of these real rough edges. So I got the 80 grit sandpaper. I'm going to go ahead and do that first. So I'm really just trying to get into the nooks and crannies and round off all the tough stuff. Up.
How goes it?
I am recording an excellent video right now, but this is all going to be under time lapse, so it doesn't matter what I say. All right, these edges are all pretty well smoothed off right now. I'm going to go over to the next higher grit. This 120. This is 150 actually. So I'm just going to continue that same process. All right, we're done with this. We're going to move up to the 220. A little bit of elbow grease, but there's still some unevenness in there, but this is going to be good enough to make it so that it's a 5-foot repair. That's really the goal. Touch these other sections just a little bit. All right, next, I'm going to take this, I'm going to spray it down. So first with the brake cleaner, just to knock off all the heavy stuff, and then I'll go over to the IPA. Oh man, that smells great. You should do this in not a definitely a well-ventilated area. Do it in a well-ventilated area. Whew! I got my trusty throwaway microfiber cloth. I'm gonna douse this. This is isopropyl alcohol and water mix. I think it's like 30%. And really it's good for kind of cleaning off all the dust and dirt and all the rest of the stuff that would make it so that the paint does not stick. Yeah, and you can see it dries really fast, so helps us kind of get rid of all the nastiness. You can see I'm doing it inside, so just kind of controlling the environment as much as possible is what you want to do whenever you're painting something, especially something you care about. All right, with that on, I'm going to let it dry for a second. The next step, take the zinc. It says to shake it for 2 minutes, so you're going to watch me shake this for 2 sped up minutes. All right, that should be good. I got a teenage boy in the house. I think next time I'm just gonna have him do it. He's already got those developed muscles for it. All right, so here, I'm gonna lightly apply this paint so that all that area that I've been sanding, I wanna get just a light coat all over that just to blend it as well as possible. So I'm not worried about it's not gonna be one coat solves the problem. So I'm gonna go through and just kind of get it over there. And then anything that starts to drip down. So ideally you're taking the wheel off of the car to do this. All right, so after you put the first light coat on, be patient, wait about 10 minutes or so, and we'll get to the next one. All right, it's been about 10 minutes or so, and so we are back. You can see it's a little bit less noticeable, but it's still some stuff out there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lightly sand again with the 220, just in a few different places where I see it being a little bit rough, and we're gonna continue the process. Again, this is a patience thing. So you sand just a little bit just to smooth it out. And then we'll spray it a little bit again with the IPA. And we'll keep going. Patience. All right, this is still pretty shook up. I shook it off camera this time. I didn't contract it out. So for the most part, the smaller scratches, one coat was largely sufficient. For this big section up here, it's probably gonna require a few additional coats, more so than the rest. Really, we're looking to put the smallest amount of paint on this that's gonna solve the problem we're trying to fix, right? So, that's the goal. Lots of thin coats. All right, so that looks like our second coat is on. And check back in a couple minutes. All right, so it's been about 10 more minutes. I am sitting here, I'm looking at it, and for the most part, you know, like I said, we're looking for about a 5-foot paint job. So from 5 feet, all these other little scratches are good, and I think maybe I'm gonna put one more coat on the really dinged up section, and we'll go from there. We'll see how it works, or how it looks. So, and it's important, obviously, between each one, make sure it dries completely, and we're gonna stick to keeping them really thin coats. All right, so that's 3 coats put on a pretty nasty little set of curb rash. What I'm gonna do is let it dry overnight, and we'll take a look at it in the morning, and we'll see if we're successful. Talk to you soon. All right, so here's the 5-foot test. I'm about 5 feet away and taking a look at the wheel. Did a pretty decent job. There's still a little bit of, like you can just tell there's a slightly different texture to that area, but it's definitely a lot better than it was. So largely happy with it. Honestly did a fairly decent job of matching the paint and got these little like metal flecks in it. So I would say the best way is to not curb your wheels. The second best way is to repair it properly. With that, thank you very much, and hopefully you'll like this video and check out the next one when it comes out.